don't buy this enclosure if you are using a Data Legend 960 as your SSD, because this is a SSD enclosure, and inside this Lexar SSD enclosure I have a Legend 960 from a Data, and this is quite a power consuming SSD, and this enclosure could not keep up with the power consumption of this SSD, and it has caused some problem. Let me show you. This is the drive. I have some file in it already, and if you look at the capacity, it's only like around half full, so I have like 1.3 terabyte available. So now I'm gonna open Blackmagic this speed to test the speed and see how it goes. You can see the speed is typical for a 10 gigabit per second enclosure. It's pretty respectable, I would say, but it happened after a while. See? So after like a few minutes of writing it, the drive just disappeared. Like it disappeared from my Finder. And it says that the disk just eject not properly. And if you look at the drive, it is like flashing white light like this, so it's like in a standby mode or something, and I cannot use it yet unless I charge the thing. So now what I have to do is to plug the drive in, because at first I didn't know what to do. I tried many things just to restart the drive and plug it in, unplug it multiple times, it still doesn't work, and I tried charging it. So let me plug it in right now. So when I charge it, as you can see, there are some voltage that is coming into the drive, like 7.5 watt, and then it go back to 0, so which means that it has charged itself enough and it's been rebooted and ready to be used. When I read from the drive, meaning like copy something from the external drive to my internal drive, which is my MacBook SSD, it doesn't have any issue. But when I try writing on the drive, meaning I copy from the internal SSD to the external SSD, which is the enclosure right here, it just have the problem, and I've been very annoyed because like when you buy something you expect it to work. I bought it from AliExpress and it didn't work, and I tried so many things. I tried researching like you know, how to update the firmware. Maybe the SSD enclosure had some problem, that is why the power supply was not enough, or there's some error with it. I tried like updating the firmware of the SSD, which I found out later on that I cannot update the firmware of the SSD at all. And I tried so many things, research the power consumption, research the other SSD, whether there's facing the same issue. I read all the review on AliExpress, researching on YouTube if they are facing the same issue with this specific enclosure, which is the Lexar E300, as you can see here, Lexar E300. So far, it's not the issue with the enclosure. I mean, partially, but I think the main issue is this thing here. It saves quite a bit of power, and it kind of heat up quite a bit as well. And because I live in Cambodia and I don't have access to many affordable SSD, so I try to fix the enclosure instead. So I ordered something online again from AliExpress, but this time it's from a good brand, hopefully, and I see many good review online. It's a USB 4 enclosure, which is much faster than this thing. It's only 10 gigabit. The other one that I ordered is 40 gigabits. So I hope it has enough power to supply to this SSD and hopefully fix my issue. But if you're looking for SSD for enclosure, definitely do not buy a Data. Just go with Samsung 990 Pro, or go with like Western Digital black as an 850 or 850X. Those are some of the popular SSD that they purchase to put an enclosure. It seems like there's no issue when they put it in many different type of enclosure. So consider those two and avoid SSD that are not the best selling or have that many information online. Try to avoid it, just use the one that is popular. And I'll wait and see whether the new SSD enclosure will fix my problem or not.